What up, guys? Your boy Quake back with a brand new episode of the Diverse Mentality Podcast, number 343. I hope you all are having an amazing day, night, whenever you're listening to this. I say that usually at the end, but gotta just say it in the beginning too, man. It's good luck, right? You gotta just like rubbing a bald person's head or something like that. Yeah, I just want to talk about a little bit about what's going on right now in terms of content that's coming up. I am working on 3 mini documentaries, so expect those to be coming out hopefully this month. The first one is, I know you guys are going to hate me for this because it's just right now it's straight G-Unit content. And to be fair, my last 2 documentaries had nothing to do with G-Unit. It was Drake versus Kendrick Lamar and the Diddy $1 million hit on Pac's life. So the last 2 had nothing to do with G-Unit. But I am doing 50 Cent and his investment in Bitcoin and how much he made off that with the Animal Ambition album. And it's going to be my first like documentary doing finance type of content where it's more about business, straight business content. And I want to see how that performs. I'm just curious. I kind of want to go that route more if it performs really well because, you know, I'm not really seeing anybody fill that lane, to be honest with you. There's really nobody that's really filling that lane and just talking about smart business deals that happened in music. Has there been videos of it? Yeah, I mean, I even touched on certain topics with business deals that artists have done, like when I did the how blank changed the music industry forever, like how 50 Cent, how Lil Wayne, how Dr. Dre, how Eminem, you know, like I would touch on things that they did that forever changed the music industry, whether it's business deals or things related to music, whatever it was, you know, I touched on it then, but, you know, I want to do like more content like that where there's really interesting stories of artists being smart with, you know, deals. Like there's like 3 or 4 chameleonaire stories that people don't really pay attention to or know about, which are really cool. But I say that to say there's going to be like 3 mini documentaries coming out this month, and then I'm going to work on a long form one that I've been that I started on but have kind of you know, put it on a hold just because of all the stuff going on. So I am getting used to all this stuff with the artist interviews, the podcasts, and the documentaries. I'm finding out ways to balance my time to where I can dedicate, you know, sometimes just time to the artist interview, just time to podcast, and then just time to the documentaries. What I want to do too is also include live streaming, whether that's reacting to albums live, whether that's just talking with you guys live. I'm going to figure out a way where I can do that and I can give the people that are supporting me through Patreon and YouTube memberships more content, going live with them and talking with them directly, because those people deserve a lot more on their end because they've been, you know, like the Patreon in terms of the $3 tier. I haven't dropped anything new in a while. So those people are still paying $3 a month and not even stopping, you know, their memberships, which is amazing. I'm glad that they're being patient and, you know, not, you know, forcing, you know, to be like, oh, I'm gonna get out of here, or forcing me to do stuff when I'm working on it. I'm just trying to figure it out. It just takes a lot. It's a lot of stuff, man. And now we're also posting on social media. We're starting to figure out what works, what doesn't with these artist interviews. You know, I'm testing out like longer format content versus shorter. You know, TikTok right now is doing pretty well for us, which is great. I mean, we got a couple of the Buck clips got over 30 to 50,000 views. It's getting there. Like each clip is starting to get to 30 to 50,000. Hopefully some of them reach 100,000, 200,000. And then Facebook, we're also getting a little bit of momentum on there as well. So if you don't follow us on Facebook, it's facebook.com/Diverse Mentality TV. Unfortunately, somebody took the Diverse Mentality name on Facebook. But yeah, I had it as TV after that, which I should have just put like underscore, but whatever. That, and then, you know, TikTok, Snapchat's doing better now. It's starting to grow in there as well. So support us on whatever platform you can, on X, on Instagram, whatever you can. Just like and share it. It helps. You don't even have to watch it. And what I'm gonna do is, since I'm uploading these artist interviews on the main channel, I'm going to upload the Benzino interview on the main channel as well that I did on this podcast, as well as the first time Kid came here. Because a lot of people, especially with the Kid, they're leaving in the comments, hey, you should get Kid on the platform, blah, blah, blah. And I already did. But I get it. There's a disconnect between the podcast and the main channel for some people. Some people only know me for the podcast, which is surprising, right? It's like a whole different world to them where they just know me from the podcast. And then some people know me from the documentaries on the main channel. Some people know me now from these artist interviews. They're going to start knowing me and being like, oh, this is the guy who interviews like people like Vlad. You know, it's going to be funny because I'm gaining new subscribers with the artist interviews. I was looking at the Buck ones, each clip, and you just see a bunch of new subscribers because it's a whole new lane that I'm entering in, and it's going to introduce a whole new audience. So I have my audience now kind of split into a lot of different ways. So the ones like you guys who support me everywhere, the ones who originally came on the podcast and supported me from the jump, like you guys support everything I do. So I'm not really worried about you guys. I appreciate you all. But then there's certain people that support certain sections where some people only watch the documentaries I make. Some people only watch, the podcast. Some people only watch news videos I make or whatever the case may be now with these artists interviews. So it's going to be split up, but that's where we got to find, certain lanes and how to maximize each area. So yeah, just give me time. I'm figuring it out as time goes on. I'm trying to get more interviews too. I'm figuring out, I'm talking with a few people. I actually talked to the game, believe it or not, and I'm trying to figure out how I can make that happen. I might end up having to take a trip out to Los Angeles. And while I'm out there, I'll be able to do a lot of interviews, potentially be able to link up with Vlad. I'll be able to link up with No Jumper, Trap Lil Ross, shout out to him. Everybody that's out there, make some connections out there because I do need to collaborate more with other content creators as well. It's something I've been meaning to do for a while. Just haven't had the time. And just, life events, my dad passing away and stuff like that. It's just been hectic. So now I'm getting back on track and just trying to balance each thing out. And once it's on its path the right way that I want it, each, structure's properly set in autopilot mode, then I can start expanding into different things and doing more like collaborations and stuff like that. So bear with me. The Hot Rod interview, we've dropped the 4th part just now. I just dropped it. By the time you listen to this, we'll probably drop the 5th part. So we were just getting into the story of him and how he ended up with 50 Cent, getting signed to him and stuff like that. Very cool story, man. He's a very interesting person who's got an interesting story. So if you don't know about Hot Rod, he was signed to G Unit in 2006. They tried to push him. They dropped the first single with Mary J. Blige called Be Easy. It ended up flopping, unfortunately, but there's a story on that too. We actually talk about why that single ended up flopping, what was the reason. And, he found his own lane, his own career, and he actually is doing very well right now. Probably better right now than he was as a rapper, which is kind of crazy. Because, you would think someone's peak is when they're, on a major label and they're, that's what people assume. But like a Millionaire, for example, right? Did Riding Dirty and all this stuff, and now he's in tech and sold an app for 400 to 500 million. So he's doing way better in tech than he is as a rapper, even though he sold millions upon millions of records and broke ringtone records and all this stuff. So you don't know, just because someone's not in the limelight anymore doesn't mean that they fell off. You guys got to think, as a celebrity, we view them as like, hey, if we don't see them, they fell off, they're broke. But no, they're humans too. They can eventually, disappear from the limelight and just do stuff behind the scenes and be very successful at it. So the Hot Rod story is very interesting on that aspect. So check that out, share, like it, all that. That helps me as well. So let's get into the news. And Diddy's bail request, the judge shut it down, said, fuck no, this is not happening. So let's go over the article. Diddy's legal battles continue, and recently he took yet another loss. Yesterday he asked Judge Arun Subramanian to grant him bail before his October sentencing. In a letter, his attorneys alleged that he was being targeted. They also cited concerns about the living conditions at the Metropolitan Detention Center. Hell-bent on punishing him for being a user of prostitution services in a more draconian manner than anyone in U.S. history, the government continues to target him unfairly, just as it has done from the inception of this probably misplaced investigation. Despite the jury's verdict, it continues to make factual statements that are plainly at odds with what 12 New Yorkers found, and try to keep Combs incarcerated even though the jury rejected the serious charges that led to the pretrial detention in the first place. MDC routinely serves food that is expired and infested with maggots. It additionally alleges lockdowns also remain common despite the government's claims. That's nasty. I actually saw a TikTok of someone opening a croissant, and as she was opening, there's maggots in there. Very disgusting. That whole restaurant is now under investigation. I couldn't imagine, and she got actually pretty sick. I couldn't imagine eating something and finding maggots in it. I would probably lose my mind. Now the judge has made his decision, and he didn't rule in Diddy's favor. Even if the flight or danger requirement was satisfied, there are no exceptional reasons warranting departure from what Congress has required, he explained in a filing shared by Megan Kniff on X. This means that Diddy will remain behind bars at least until his sentencing. Last month he was found guilty. Yeah, we talked about this. So, yeah, the judge said, I don't really care. You're not getting your bail, which is no surprise. Diddy's team also confirmed that they've asked Donald Trump about a pardon. So let's go over this. I'm going to skip a little bit of stuff because amid the Bad Boy founder's legal issues, it's been rumored that Donald Trump has been considering granting him a presidential pardon. In May, Trump indicated that this wasn't off the table. I would certainly look at the facts, he told reporters. If I think somebody was mistreated, whether they like me or don't like me, it wouldn't have any impact on me. During an interview with Robert Fernandy on Newsmax a few days ago, however, Trump seemed far less open to the idea of freeing his former friend. He explained that Diddy was very hostile and made some terrible statements when he ran for office, despite them being on good terms previously. When Fernandy asked if he was more likely no for Combs, Trump responded, I would say so. Diddy a while ago, this is when Trump first ran. He did an interview, I think it was Charlemagne. They're at Diddy's house. And Diddy was like, basically just disrespecting Trump, right? So I'm sure Trump has seen that and is like, nah, I'm not going to. Why should I when this guy was talking shit about me? Regardless, it looks like Diddy's team is not backing down. Recently, his attorney, Nicole, was asked by CNN's Elizabeth whether or not they'd reach out to Trump. Yes, my understanding is that we have reached out. She admitted per All Hip Hop. I think that Mr. Combs is a very hopeful person, and I believe that he remains hopeful. So they did reach out, but like I said, I don't think Trump's going to do it. Yeah, Diddy's just going to be locked up until his sentencing, and what is he going to get sentenced? I don't know. He might just get time served because he's been in there for over a year. If he does get sentenced, maybe a year, 2 years max. I don't really see him doing more than 3 years, in my opinion. There's a huge chance that he's just going to get time served, which is a year of prison or jail. I don't know where he's in right now. I think he's in prison. So it is what it is, man. Some people are going to be upset. Some people are going to be okay with it, but hey, it is what it is. But we'll keep our eyes posted. Of course, as anything new with Diddy happens, we'll always talk about it. Updates on Soulja Boy's case, and it looks like he is good to go. So let's go over it. Earlier this week, Soulja Boy ran into some unexpected trouble during a traffic stop in Los Angeles. Reportedly, the police found a gun in the vehicle he was a passenger in and booked him on suspicion of being a felon in possession of a firearm. It remains unclear exactly what prompted the traffic stop. Fortunately for him, however, he's now off the hook. Reportedly, prosecutors decided not to pursue charges tied against the arrest. A case was declined due to insufficient evidence, a Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office spokesperson told Rolling Stone. As a result, he was released from custody yesterday, August 5th, just before 2 p.m. Unsurprisingly, he rushed to social media to celebrate. First day out, he wrote simply on his Instagram story. Yeah, so that's basically it. Very quick. It goes over his previous gun charges, which we talked about in the last podcast. But yeah, I mean, this is fair, more than fair, because, he was just in a car with somebody that happened to have a gun, which is kind of like unfair. I get it, though. The police, this is a felon. He's around a gun. He's not supposed to be around one. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully nothing else comes out of this and, he's good to go. But, yeah, just wanted to give you guys that quick update. Let's talk about Boosie's gun case. And he decides to catch a plea. So let's go over it. Boosie Badazz is certainly no stranger to legal issues, but recently he got a step closer to putting one of them behind him. That's, anyways, just accepted a plea from federal government on my gun case, he declared on Twitter today, August 4th, as captured by the Shade Room. I thought this case was over and I was going to get on with my life, but God don't make mistakes and I'm tired of fighting. Talk to my family and this is the right decision, the rapper commented. To all my fans across the world, say a prayer for your boy and go get the new album. Words of a real one. At the time of the writing, it's unclear what this means for Boosie and whether or not he'll be heading back to jail anytime soon. yeah, if you accept a plea, he's probably going to go to jail, but it's probably not going to be probably a long stint because he accepted a plea. Let's go over what this exactly was because this is a while ago when he got charged with this. Boosie was charged with possession of a firearm as a felon in 2023, and his case was later dismissed. Last July, prosecutors indicted him on the same charge, again, along with a new drug-related charge. His own case isn't the only one he's spoken on in recent weeks. Earlier, a few days ago, he hopped online to weigh in on Gilbert Arenas' arrest. He was one of the 6 men arrested on federal indictment involved in alleged illegal gambling business late last month. Yeah, so that's a whole different Gilbert Arenas thing. What did Rick Ross say? I got them gats, Gilbert Arenas. Oh, Rose. So yeah, I know Ross, William Roberts. I know his music. Come on, man. I know records. I'm not a total hater. I fuck with William Roberts' music here and there. I just wish he would go by the name of William Roberts. I'd fuck with it a lot more, but I'm gonna stop trolling. But yeah, we'll keep our eyes posted. I'm sure he's gonna get some time. Maybe not as bad as if he actually fought the case. But yeah, we'll see. Lil Yachty. So he might have a little bias when it comes to what he's saying right now because he worked with the Drake. He's worked with them on several songs and projects, blah, blah, blah. But he said something that caught a lot of people's attention and just people were kind of debating it online on Twitter and stuff like that. So let's play the clip and then we'll go over exactly what I think and why he said what he said.
I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. I got one more question.
Sure, what's up?
Do you want to shout anybody out?
Do you want to shout anyone out to come on the podcast? Sorry.
Do I want to shout anyone out to come out? I'm confused.
Shout someone out to come on the podcast.
Tell somebody.
Tell someone. Yeah.
Who do y'all want to come on the podcast?
Anyone.
Yeah.
That sounds desperate.
Dude, it's good.
Who are y'all dream guests?
There's a lot. I mean,
I know you have one opinion.
Petty wants Drake.
I drink glass.
Oh, you want the biggest rapper of all time?
Yeah,
okay, he's aiming for the stars. Okay. All right.
First, who the fuck are these kids? It seems like a bunch of teenagers, and Lil Yachty is on this podcast, and I clicked on their page, and they're like a whole new platform, and they just got Lil Yachty on their thing, and it's like, what the fuck? That is so random. I sometimes think, and this might be some hater talk right here. I'm not even going to lie. This sounds like some hater shit, but some of these fucking people just create a podcast and all of a sudden have special celebrities come and do interviews with them like it's nothing. Like it's the easiest thing ever. I think they're like industry plants. Like there's no way you start a platform with nothing, like no viewership, nothing. I've seen like me trying to get a 50 Cent interview has been the hardest thing ever versus some fucking random radio station with 1,000 subscribers and they get a 50 Cent interview and it gets like 10,000 views. And it's like, what the fuck? Like that, but because it's a radio station, they got radio connects, 50, probably has a history with some of them. So I get it. But some of these platforms just out of like that Bobby Altoff girl, like where the fuck did she come from? And it's just, I don't know, man. I can understand when people say, hey, this person on some Illuminati shit like sold their soul for fame because some of these people just come up out of nowhere and just dominate and just get all these celebrities and all these views. And it's like, where the fuck were you all these years? But it sounds like some hater shit. I'm not saying that about them because I don't know them. I could be, they could be grinding for a long time and then just started a second YouTube channel and I don't know about their main one. I have no idea. I did see Logan Paul on one of their little videos, not like on their podcast, but one of their videos. So, they might be tapped in with Logan Paul and that makes sense, But yeah, let's get back to the actual what Lil Yachty was talking about. Lil Yachty said Drake is the biggest rapper of all time. And here's the thing. I'm going to have to hold some people's hand when I say this. Statistically, numbers-wise, there's two categories. And that's the way I view it. There's streaming, and then there's physical album sales. To me, those two have to be separated. Because physical album sales is different than streaming. Way different. Back then, you would spend $10 to $16, whatever the amount would be. If it was deluxe version with the DVD, you never know. Let's just say $13 right in the middle, right, on a CD. And unless you messed up that CD and scratched it or whatever, you wouldn't be rebuying that CD. It would just be a one-time purchase, and that's it. With streaming, you can restream and restream and restream, and The access is there 24/7. With CDs, you would have to either be in a car or have like a little CD player or whatever the case may be. You would have to have something that could play CDs for you to enjoy the music. And those streams didn't count. It was just you bought the CD and that's it, you know. So there has to be a separation between the two. And the reason why I mention this is because the biggest rapper of all time, the only way you can gauge that is through sales and charts and stuff like that. There's no other way you can gauge that, in my eyes. I don't know. If you guys can think of a different way to gauge that, biggest, not best, not most lyrical, none of that. Just the biggest, period. The most dominant, right? There's only two. It's Eminem and Drake. That's it. Some people are going to throw at me Kanye West. He's kind of a producer / rapper. He doesn't really write his stuff, so you can't really put Kanye. But Kanye is up there. Some people are going to throw Jay-Z. Jay-Z is big, really big in America. Worldwide, he's not as big. And people are going to throw shit at me for that. But the reality is Jay-Z, I don't remember the last time he did an actual worldwide tour and touched every area in the world and, dominated that. His worldwide sales aren't as big as his sales in America. And the numbers just prove it. I mean, you can look that up yourself. So I'm not going to argue those. Just Eminem and Drake. Those are the two biggest artists, hip-hop artists of all time. Eminem dominated the CD era. What is it? Marshall Mathers LP. He almost sold 2 million copies. Well, that's another 300,000. He did 1.76 million. So 1,760,000 copies the first week. Almost another 300,000 basically, and you're doing 2 million first week. So that's the highest first week sales for any hip-hop artist ever. And then he did 1.3 million with the Eminem show. And this is like back-to-back. So in the year 2000, he dropped Marshall Mathers LP, and then the year 2002, dropped Eminem show. So you're talking about 1.7 million and 1.3 million in the first week. And then these albums ended up going diamond in America alone, and then worldwide, Eminem show is like at an astronomical, it sold more than Marshall Mathers LP as time went on worldwide. It's like at an astronomical 26 to 30 million copies, potentially more. Let me actually, just to make sure, so people don't scold me on here, but it's somewhere in like the 25 to 30 million. Yeah, so 27 million copies worldwide. It is 12 times platinum, basically diamond, and another 2 million. So 12 million sold in America alone, the Eminem show. So if we're talking physical CDs, pre-streaming, Eminem is the biggest artist of all time. A hip-hop artist. Sorry, I'm not going to say biggest artist. Scratch that. Biggest hip-hop artist of all time. There's no debate that. I mean, numbers say that. Charts say that. Whatever you want to put up says that. I mean, he was touring in Japan. He was touring everywhere across the globe at that time. Now, with streaming, we're not going to discredit Eminem in streaming because he's also done well in streaming. But obviously, that's more of Drake's era. The beautiful thing about Drake's career is and Eminem's as well, but mainly Drake's, is that he got the tail end of album sales, so he could still prove that he could sell albums. Because when people say, "Oh, if Drake was in the album selling 2000s era, he wouldn't be able to sell albums," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He was in that era where streaming wasn't counted as sales. He did, I think, his best first week sales without streaming added onto it was like almost 700,000 the first week. Now, people might be like, "Oh, look at Eminem, he did 1.7 million. Well, it's a different era, different time. CDs weren't selling like that in 2000. And what did he do 700,000? He did, might have been Nothing Was the Same or Take Care. One of those did 650, 660, almost 700,000 first week, right? And that album ended up doing physically Take Care and Nothing Was the Same, which was released in 2012. No, Take Care was released in 2011, and Nothing Was the Same was released in 2013. And both of those albums in physical CD sales, this is physical sales, have done 4 million copies. And this is the tail end of physical CD sales. So imagine Drake in the 2000s when CDs were actually selling, or the 90s or whatever. He would definitely do 10 million. That's not even a question. I think anybody who doubts that or is like, "Oh, that's bullshit," nah. Streaming has helped him. It actually helped him get his first #1 song. So he did struggle on getting a #1 record as a solo lead artist because I believe it was One Dance. That was his first #1, and that's in 2018. So it took him till 2018 to finally get his first #1 song as a lead artist on a song, because he got #1 with Rihanna, but that was Rihanna's song Work. But yeah, so streaming helped him on that aspect, but with sales, album sales, he still would have done those sales. To, debate that and be like, nah, he wouldn't have done that. There's proof in the pudding, So I separate the two in terms of who's the biggest. Eminem was the biggest in the era of selling CDs and albums like that, and then Drake is the biggest in the streaming. Now, overall, as the years go on, people are not going to like to hear this, but Drake's music is going to outsell eventually Eminem's in total. He is catching up, and there's some metrics where he is passing him. Now, you could argue streaming made it a lot easier for him. Yes, that is a huge advantage for Drake. You could argue, because Drake's had a long run at the top. Eminem had this long run at the top, but then had that drug problem and took about 3, almost 4 years off. No, you could say about 3 years off. Came back with relapse, and then since then he's been doing pretty good, or really good actually, because Recovery did well. Recovery is actually in the 2010s. It's the only album to, I think it's the best-selling album in the 2010s. Sorry, I was going to say best hip-hop selling. I think best-selling album period in the 2010s. Nah, because I think Adele did insane numbers, so never mind. Best-selling hip-hop album in the 2010s, Eminem has with the Recovery right now, currently. So it's not like he just fell off and hasn't done anything post the drug issues, because he's dominated still. And the way Eminem's adapted and still doing great numbers after all these years shows that, hey, he's still here to stay. I mean, Death of Slim Shady did almost 300,000 first week. That's great numbers for somebody who's been in the game since first album dropping in 1999. We're talking 26, 27 years. Like, come on. So that's the way I break it down. I do think Eminem is still the biggest artist, hip-hop artist, period, right now. I think Drake comes #2, and he's probably, I don't know, man, the next 10 years, I think Eminem is eventually just going to retire, and Drake's younger and has this streaming advantage. So Drake could, potentially surpass Eminem. Now, some people consider Drake not a rapper. I consider him a rapper. I don't care if you think he's make pop hits. Eminem is make pop hits as well. I mean, on Recovery, got songs with Pink and Rihanna. So come on. Like, I think people make this argument of, but Eminem does rap a little bit more instead of Drake does more melodic. Whatever. There's a debate on that could happen. I'm not going to get into that because people are just going to go crazy. Be like, Quake, this, that. So that's the way I break it down. Right now, Eminem is still the best selling, but Drake is #2. Everybody else kind of just is 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want to do in numbers at that point. And we're just going, because the only way you can gauge biggest is sales. That's it, man. There's no other way, unless they just both decide to do a world tour. And I'm talking about a real world tour. I'm talking about stopping in every continent in the planet and seeing what they do numbers-wise. If Eminem decided to do a tour, I'm telling you right now, that guy would easily generate $500 million like it's nothing. I don't know why he hasn't. I think he should do one tour, one last hurrah, and I would go to it immediately. Like, I would buy tickets without even thinking. But yeah, interesting view from Lil Yachty. And as the time goes on, there's gonna be people that that view Drake as the biggest artist, and people are gonna start, because generations are gonna start getting older, and then unless you pass it on to your kids and you tell them about this artist, people are gonna forget, man. Internet kind of helps with that, but these new kids aren't saying there, oh my God, I want to meet Eminem. Now, some are, but majority would be like, nah, I want to meet Drake instead of Eminem. And that's the new generation, man. Whether you agree with it or not, that just is what it is. So interesting, take by Lil Yachty. Speaking of Drake, he decided to perform in London and Amsterdam, and he got a bunch of water bottles and toilet paper thrown at him. And I can already see people laughing. Oh, my God, look, they hate you, Drake. Oh, Kendrick Lamar stands are in the... whatever. We'll just go over the article. Fans at Drake's recent concerts in London and Amsterdam threw rolls of toilet paper and water bottles at him. According to videos circulating on social media caught by Hip Hop and more, in one clip, Drake sings "Over My Dead Body" as a roll of toilet paper goes flying past his head, and another 2 water bottles fly up and hit him while he performs on a floating platform. Drake has been performing in Europe on his Some Special Shows for You tour with Party Next Door since July 11th. To kick off the run of shows, he served as the headliner for all 3 nights of Wireless Festival in London. Elsewhere, during one of his concerts, Drake gave us a speech about people in the music industry accusing him of being a snake. Yeah, it's a whole different thing. So let's play these clips.
That would all. Can I see you as my crush?
Time of my life out here. We've had some incredible shows, some incredible crowds.
Now, what people are saying is the reason why they were throwing water bottles and toilet paper at Drake is because the prices of the tickets at the shows were really high, and Drake really wasn't performing. Like, he wasn't matching those prices of tickets, and people were upset. People were saying that Drake was like holding the mic out for people to sing every single bar for him and not really doing a lot in movements. And, you know, if you're paying, I don't know what the ticket was, 150, 200, 300, and if you're closer, you're probably paying 500, 600. You know, the artist should, match the energy, go out there, perform. You know, sometimes put the mic out for the crowd to sing, but if you're doing that every single song and you're not really giving much effort, people are not going to like it, man. They're going to throw toilet paper, water. I don't care if they're fans of you or not. You do need to give maximum effort because you got to remember these people work really hard for their money, man. And to take out time out of their day to purchase tickets for you, spend their money, hard-earned money, and see you, and you give them a subpar performance, I can understand why people get upset. Now, is Drake known for giving subpar performances? I don't know. I've never seen Drake live in concert. I've never really just had the want to go, I guess. It is what it is. You know, some people are going to be upset at performances, some are going to be happy, but hey, you know, at least Drake didn't really get hurt badly with the water bottles being thrown at him. But we'll keep our eyes posted and see how these next shows go, and hopefully he adds more energy to them. Ice Cube is getting cooked. I mean, he's basically melting. He's no longer an Ice Cube. Why? Well, it's not for his music. It's for his acting. It's for his actor side of things. So let's go over the article. Ice Cube is a legend. There's no doubt about that. He's proven to be one of hip-hop's true moguls, branching out into other avenues of music. The California native runs the competitive Big Three basketball league with former NBA stars. He's also been acting for roughly 3 decades, landing roles in the comedy classic Friday, as well as Jump Street flicks. But as you all know, not every project or idea will produce amazing results. Hiccups are bound to happen, and unfortunately for Ice Cube, that happened with his newest movie. The No Vaseline songwriter takes on a lead role in the motion picture adaptation for War of Worlds. It is based on a 1898 novel of the same name written by H.G. Wells, which is about alien invaders threatening to conquer Earth. The synopsis is essentially the same. A computer security analyst working for the U.S. government finds his daily life disrupted by an alien attack. Accustomed to dealing with virtual threats, his struggle extends to secrets the government may be hiding. However, critics on sites such as IMDb, Metacritic, and Rotten Tomatoes have nothing positive to report on it, including the later. Based on over 1,000 audience reviews, it got a 16%, which is 16% approval. And then we're talking about 1,000 audience reviews. But wildly enough, the critics think even less of Q's movie. It sits at a shocking 0% based on 17 reviews. One person writes, War of the Worlds is torturous, endless 90 minutes of glitchy video clips, military shock footage, glad to be doing something, actors running through the screen, waving a camera in front of their faces, pretending to be scared. They continue, Ice Cube looks increasingly disconnected from the whole thing, hurtling around his computer screen like a man who just remembered his Wi-Fi password. Another adds, this limp, lifeless take on Wells' War of Worlds feels shoehorned into the screen movie format just to harvest clicks from the recognizable name. Sorry, that was my whoop. The sci-fi drama, which also stars Eva Longoria, Michael O'Neill, and Clark Gregg, hit Amazon Prime Video on July 30th. And of course, 50 Cent decided to clown it. He posted that it got 0% on Rotten Tomatoes, and he said, 0%? Now you get a 0% rating? Nah, somebody mad at Cube. He said, how you get a 0% rating? Nah, somebody mad at Cube. Now I'm scared to watch it, LOL. Well, I actually checked out the trailer. I didn't watch the movie. And it literally it looks like just Ice Cube is sitting in front of a computer and just reacting to stuff that's happening around the world in the movie that the aliens are invading. That's all this movie is. Like, it's a 90-minute movie of Ice Cube sitting at the computer desk. Like, who approved that? Who thought, man, this would be a good movie idea? This is a horrible. That's like a horrendous idea. It probably took Ice Cube 30 minutes to film his parts, and that's it. The budget for the movie probably went all to Ice Cube just sitting on his chair. Probably 67% of the budget went to like him just sitting on the chair and looking at, a bunch of alien clips and pretending to look at alien clips and pretending to be scared and stuff. That alone, just off the trailer, it looks horrible. I don't know why Ice Cube decided to do it. Maybe they paid him really well, and he was just like, fuck it. I'm just sitting in front of a computer screen. Why not take it? But it's not a good look, man. As an actor, you don't want to take up roles just for the money. But I don't know his position, man. If somebody offered me a couple million and I was like, hey, I'm in a bad position, but hey, this movie doesn't look like it's that hard to do, I might end up taking it. I don't know. But it doesn't seem like Ice Cube is in a bad position in his life, so I don't know why he would take that. Maybe he got pitched something totally different and he thought it would turn out different, but yeah, just based off the trailer, it looks horrible. I might end up watching it just for the sake of laughing, potentially, but yeah, man, very, very disappointing in terms of what Ice Cube has done with acting in this movie, because he's got legendary roles like Friday, like Are We There Yet? Probably one of my favorite childhood movies from Ice Cube, and more, man. So he's been taken seriously as an actor. So for this to happen, it's kind of sad, But hey, things happen. Sometimes movies don't hit like they're supposed to, and it is what it is. You keep moving forward, you collect your check, and go on to the next thing. The 2025 MTV Video Music Awards nominations have been announced. I don't know anybody who actually watches award shows anymore. I'm genuinely surprised that they're still on. I know BET has paused the BET Hip Hop Awards. I don't blame. Honestly, they're like, a lot of these award shows just ain't what they used to be. I don't know what it is. I think social media has kind of took out the star power ability of award shows. Back then when award shows would happen, you wouldn't really get much of the celebrity, right? Because social media was really in its, especially BET Hip Hop Awards. I think the first one was in 2006. So social media was in its infant stages. You had MySpace a little bit of Facebook. People really, but that's about it. Could you really get in contact with your favorite artist? No, they would lie and say, you can contact me on MySpace. I'm online. But it was bullshit. And just, it was very minimal. So seeing stars at award shows was like one of the few times you could actually see them and, they collect their award. Cool. Now, because of social media, because you can see them often, I don't really care. I don't really care to see. And a lot of these new stars just ain't really stars like that. Their music ain't hitting like they're supposed to. I'm not saying all of them are trash, but 80% of them are just, you're going to be here for right now, and then next year you're gone. I'm never going to see you again. So let's go over the article, though. MTV has revealed the full list of nominees for the 2025 Video Music Awards, and Kendrick Lamar will be competing for a total of 10 honors. Yes, 10 nominations, which is crazy. Lady Gaga is up for 12. Bruno Mars is competing for 11, which is crazy. I haven't really heard of Bruno Mars like that. I don't know if he's had new music. Oh, yeah, he had the Lady Gaga record with Bruno. Yeah, I'm tripping. Sabrina Carpenter and Rose each have 8 nominations. Ariana Grande has 7. So let's go over the Kendrick Lamar ones, because that's the only one we care about, because we're hip-hop focused. It will be held on Sunday, September 7th. So if you're interested in watching it, it is Sunday, September 7th. Let's go over the nominations that Kendrick Lamar has. 10 of them, which is insane. So he's got Artist of the Year, Video of the Year for Not Like Us, Best Album GNX, Best Hip Hop Album Not Like Us, Best Collaboration Luther, Best Cinematography Not Like Us, Best Choreography Not Like Us, Best Direction Not Like Us, Best Art Direction Not Like Us, and Best Editing Not Like Us. He is the most nominated hip hop artist this year. So 10 nominations. Round of applause for Kendrick Lamar. I'm sure he's going to win at least 4 or 5 of these easily. And a hell of a year, man. Hell of a year for 2024 and some of 2025. And, he's touring. I think he's done with the tour. I don't know if he's still doing the tour. But, yeah, I think we're going to I hope we get another album from him. If it doesn't come out this year, at least beginning of 2026 would be cool, because I've kind of run my plays on GNX. Yeah. I've changed my opinion on, I remember when I reviewed it, I changed my opinion on, what's the record, man? Why is this? What's the record that I had an issue, that I put in the middle? I didn't have an issue with it, but I put it in the middle. It might be Peekaboo. I probably put that in the middle, or maybe TV Off. One of those records. I changed my mind. It's a great song. So I take that from being in the middle to great. So that increases my ranking of GNX a little bit. But as far as Heart Part 6, I'm still in the middle on that. I don't really bump it. When I put songs in the middle of the reviews, I don't really bump them, but I don't really dislike them. They're kind of just like, it's there, it's cool, but it's not something that I'm really going to be listening to. Not much replay value and stuff like that. So that's where I'm at with the Heart Part 6 on his track. But hey, great year. So we'll keep our eyes posted when the night happens. I'll definitely report on it and talk about it on the podcast as usual. Continuing on, great news for Lil Wayne fans, and we reported this as well. He and DJ Drama somehow brought the Droughts and the Dedication series to streaming services, and mainly Apple Music and Tidal. So it did have, here are the projects that came: the Drought 2, the Drought 3, and Dedication. So he did have some Dedication mixtapes on there and some Drought mixtapes on there already, but they added more. And it's a beautiful thing, man. I don't know how they're getting it done, because there has to be, I don't know, legally, I think this is how they're doing it, because this is how it works, at least on YouTube and just anything else. Or at least YouTube, it depends. You know, it depends on what the copyright holder decides to do. But sometimes with copyrighted stuff, like samples, whatever, music, or even on YouTube, you can have the video up, but they'll take all the money from it. You know, so I can drop a full, whatever, documentary, and I'll have a song that's copyrighted on there, and they can just take all the ad revenue from the video if they want to. But you can still keep your video up. And then there's some copyrights where, you know, if it's copyrighted, the video is blocked, and it doesn't matter. Like, no matter what you do, it's blocked. They don't care. They don't want it, you know, up at all using their content. So I think with this, the reason why I'm using that example is because I think with these mixtapes, they're just giving away all the money. So they're saying, hey, whoever owns a sample of whatever record Lil Wayne jumped on. For example, Sky's the Limit, Mr. Jones, Mike Jones beat, Mike Jones track. You know, he owns, I'm sure, a percentage of that track. So they're probably like, hey, just give all the money. We're not concerned about the money. We just want fans to stream the music. I'm assuming that's the case, because that's the only way I could think of, like, Lil Wayne, DJ Drama, and them clearing everything to be put on streaming platforms to monetize, because you can't monetize off something you don't own. That's illegal. So I'm sure they probably figured out a deal where they're just giving all the money to the original, whatever, owners of the track that he's freestyling over. I'm sure they figured out something like that, and that's cool. So I do want to see, and of course this is easy as day response, but I want to see the G-Unit mixtapes. I want to see all the 50 Cent mixtapes on streaming platforms. And I'm surprised, like, he doesn't have War Angel on there. Like, he should put all those. Those are original tracks too. They're not like over freestyle over beats. War Angel is full of just original music. Why not put that on streaming platforms? I know 50 Cent is filthy rich, but why not? You could literally put that on there. You can make some money out of it. Like, why not take advantage of that? The Kanan tape is not on there. He's got a few singles off there on there, but put the Kanan tape on there. You got Forever King, which is the hard one where you have to clear a lot because he's using a lot of like 90s music and stuff. But Forever King, you know, you got an endless amount of G-Unit radios, all that stuff. And he has some mixtapes up on there. Who Kid does, at least. God's Plan, which is kind of like a reinterpretation of some of the G-Unit radio mixtapes. But yeah, so he's got some records on there, but they could definitely clear a lot more and get a lot more projects on there. And I'm surprised 50 hasn't figured out a way to get Power of the Dollar on there. Why not get your originally scheduled first album on there? That would be insane. Like, what was the release date of that album? Like, let's just say it was May 1999. I know it was changed a few times. Like, they promoted it as like early 1999 or 1998. Let's just say it's May 1999. Why not do like a 30-year anniversary where you just drop? I would love to do a documentary and then add the streaming to it and put it as like the album's coming out on streaming as well. That'd be great. But that's, you know, me daydreaming, which eventually will happen. I'm speaking things into existence. That's one thing you got to check out. The Hot Rod interview, this part 4 clip that we dropped, he talks about speaking the deal into existence. So please watch. It's very important. So he actually corrected me. I remember when I was saying, oh, man, I hope I'm going to get this 50 Cent interview because that's what my goal is. He's like, nah, you're going to get it speak into existence, blah, blah, blah. So he checked me on that. He even checked me on the Young Buck thing because I was like, I don't know if he's going to do the interview, man. It's been forever. He's like, no, you're going to get it. And boom, it happened, man. He called it. So shout out to him. So yeah, great news. If you're a fan of Lil Wayne, streaming platforms, I would love to get, you know, all those mixtapes, fabulous mixtapes. I don't know how many are on streaming platforms. I know Chameleonaire got all these mixtapes on streaming platforms, so shout out to him. I think he's just missing Mixtape Messiah 2. But on Apple Music, I see all the Chameleonaire mixtapes, which I love. Yeah, man, there's a lot of artists that have dropped mixtapes. That Banks has got insane amount of mixtapes. He's got some up there, some not. Yeah, there's an endless wave of mixtapes from artists that would be really cool to put on streaming platforms. But yeah, so if you're a Wayne fan, congratulations to you. You can enjoy that on streaming. Honestly, if you have YouTube Premium, just go to YouTube Music. You can listen to any song that was uploaded to YouTube that you want. So that's the hack that a lot of people use, including me. Let's get into the Billboard Hot 100. Alex Warren, Ordinary, is at number 1. I think still. I don't know. Last week was number 1, so still at number 1. Number 2, Golden, Hunter X, EJ, and a bunch of other people. What I Want, Morgan Wallen, number 3. Daisies, Justin Bieber, number 4. Just in Case, Morgan Wallen, number 5. Love Me Not, Raven Lene, number 6. Lose Control, Teddy Swims, number 7. A Bar Song, Tipsy, Shabuzi. Damn, that song is still in the top 10. Number 8. Your Idol, Soulja Boys, number 9. Die With a Smile, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, number 10. Man, country music is just dominating, man. I think the pendulum has swung to like country music being the biggest thing now. It's starting to become that because it's crazy, man. On the charts, like hip hop isn't really what it used to be. Luther, Kendrick Lamar, and SZA, number 12. Morgan Wallen featuring Lil Wayne and Rick Ross, Miami re-entry. That's interesting. Drake and Central C. Which one? This song is ass cheeks, but it debuted at number 23, which is that's not really a good debut for Drake. Let's just say that. He's always been debuting in the top 10 for the most part. To have the second alleged single off your Iceman album debut at number 22, that is not a good look. But the record's not good in general, so that song is ass cheeks. I listened to it just on its release day and haven't listened to it since. BX The Plug, All the Way, dope ass record, number 27. What Did I Miss? Number 31. I hear this is going up on the charts next week, so that's kind of a good move. That record's better than Which One by a long shot. 30 for 30, SZA with Kendrick Lamar, number 36. Nokia, Drake, number 37. Chris Brown, Bryson Tiller, It Depends, debuted at number 43. Tyler, the Creator, Ring, 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 number 47. Sugar on My Tongue, Tyler, the Creator, number 51. Sorry. Big Poe, Tyler, the Creator, number 59. Outside, Cardi B, number 60. I'll Take Care of You, Tyler, the Creator, number 66. Sucker Free, Tyler, the Creator, number 73. G Herbo, Went Legit, number 81. Tyler, the Creator, Don't You Worry, Baby, number 82. Playboy Cardi, The Weeknd, Rather Lie, number 85. That was 98 last week, by the way. Yeah. Just Went Legit. Typa, Glorilla, number 93. Tyler, the Creator, Stop Playing With Me, number 95. Tyler, the Creator, Eminem, number 97. And Tyler, the Creator, Don't Tap the Glass, / Tweaking, number 99. Interesting. I'm also going to go see the Eminem Stands documentary. Shit, I haven't bought my tickets. I need to actually go buy them right now. Hopefully I don't forget after this podcast, but I need to get my tickets. I'm going to go check that out. I want to go see that. Actually, speaking of the Stands thing, Eminem is doing the premiere. So let's actually watch the clip. He appeared in the premiere. And let's go over this right now. I was going to actually end things, but see, you never know. That's why you listen to the end of the podcast, man. You never know. I might end up just talking about something I never planned on talking about. So Eminem is doing the premiere of the Stands movie. I don't know where at. I could be completely wrong, but yeah, let's play. This is interesting. So let's play. Oh, it's a premiere in New York City. So that's where it's at. So Paul Rosenberg said this: Eminem is working on stuff and there will be more music. I'm not sure when, but it's coming. When he feels like he's got a body work, he'll release an album. I'm hearing, and I don't know if this is true. I remember 50 hinting at this in the beginning of the year. I never got a chance to talk about it much because, I was going through my own personal things in my life, but with my dad passed away, all that. But regardless, 50 talked about it, hinted at it. So I'm hoping it's Eminem 50 collab album, man. I know people are like, oh, they're way past their prime. I don't want to hear that shit. I still want to hear it. I don't care. I don't know, though, man. If it's ass cheeks and just ends up being a bad album, like, will that ruin, like, the aura of them? I don't know, man. I still want to hear it, regardless. Even if it's bad, I'll just be honest about it and say it's bad. But let's watch this Eminem clip where he's talking about the Stands movie premiere. Let's see.
What the fuck is up, y'all? Yo, real quick, I just want to thank everybody for coming out, man. I want to thank y'all for coming out. Let me tell you why this shit is crazy to me. Because when I was writing the song Stand, I never understood, like, I think I was just understanding, like, the impact. I love you too. I think I was just understanding the impact that my music was having on some people. And it's so crazy to me to look at, like, over my career, just the fact that I was able to impact people. I love you too. I'm trying to think of what the fuck I want to say here. This film, I just want to say, when I was writing this song, I love you too, God damn it. Whoever said it. When I was writing this song, I didn't understand the impact that my music was having on people at the time. And it was really surreal to me, and it's still surreal to this day, to look out here and see all you, and the fact that my music has inspired you. This film is a thank you to all of you.
No, thank you!
This is my thank you to all of you for sticking by me for this whole fucking time.
Hell yeah!
Through all my shit, through all my bullshit, all my fucking mediocre shit, the good shit, the bad shit, all of it. This film is dedicated to y'all, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And all the people that was the cast. This is a thank you to them. It's a thank you to y'all.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you. I hope y'all enjoy the film, and at the end, stick around because we're premiering the video the first time for FAC. I'm kidding. But stick around after the film. We're doing a panel. There's a Q&A. Paul told me to tell y'all they're doing a panel. It's a Q&A at the end of the film. I hope y'all enjoy it. Thank you so much for coming out, y'all. I love you.
Eminem trolling with that video of fact, that's hilarious, and typical Eminem. But I do think, I think there's a Stan soundtrack coming out, so I don't know what if that's going to feature any new music or anything like that, but it would have been cool to like get, maybe, I know they got like a music video in the vault that they shot that they never released, probably, or some type of footage where, it's just like old rare stuff, or I don't know, man, maybe an alternate version of Stan that he wrote or something like that. But the cool thing about the Stan premiere is the actual OG Stan in the music video showed up to the premiere. And another cool thing about it is that his son met Eminem. So this is what he said. 25 years ago, I worked with one of the greatest musicians of all time. Today, he met my son. What a ride. That is like insane. And another funny thing is a kid there saw Eminem and jokingly said, "Hey, this is the guy from Fortnite," because Eminem is on Fortnite on the game, and Eminem actually laughed. He found that funny. So,
Yo, it's the guy from Fortnite. I'm kidding.
That's very cool, man. Shout out to Eminem. He never makes public appearances, so it's cool that he appeared at least in New York City to accommodate fans with the Stan premiere. I'm gonna go check it out, so I'm gonna give my review on it on the next podcast episode, and kind of just give my thoughts on what I thought about it, because I'm hearing a lot of like hardcore Eminem fan pages like got featured in the documentary. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I wouldn't want to be featured in a Stan. Like if 50 made one, I would not be wanting featured in it because I'm not a Stan. I don't want to say that this is a bad like stigma. Like I think of Stans as people who just agree with the artist 100% every time, can never see any flaw in that artist, and just support every single thing that person does. And I haven't done that with any artist. Not with Eminem, not with 50. I know people are like, oh, but with 50 you stand. I don't. I've criticized him. I criticize his music at times. I haven't bought everything that he's ever made or done, like the movies that he's made. I remember when Power first got announced, I was like, man, this shit's going to be ass. 50 sucks at acting. this is not going to be good. This shit's going to flop. And then I watched first episode, second episode, third episode. I was like, you know what? This is not bad. Like, this is actually interesting. Because 50's acting is just not good, man. He's just not a good actor. And it is what it is. He can fit that role of like Kanan, where he's playing this gangsta and this ruthless, heartless person. Yeah, but anything else, I just don't buy it. I really don't. So yeah, regardless, I critique 50 on a lot of things. I've always done that. I think a stan is somebody who just an Eminem stan. Like Eminem stans, not the fans, because there's a difference between the two. I've talked to Eminem fans and I've talked to stans. Stans just no matter what. If you say one little bad, like for example, my Eminem versus MGK, Who Really Won documentary. I praised Kill Shot, but then I said Rap Devil just to me has more replay value, and I enjoyed the diss track a little more. But I praised Eminem throughout the whole thing, and I've never bought an MGK song, project, album, nothing. I bought basically everything Eminem's ever released in terms of albums, besides that shitty one that came out. And I actually bought Marshmallow's LP too, even though I don't like it. I bought it just for the support, but and I wanted the CD. But Revival, that shit was ass cheeks, and music, you know, whatever. We could talk about a lot of this other stuff, but regardless, I don't support everything Eminem does. And the stands, like when I critiqued Eminem just a little bit with the diss and said Machine Gun Kelly is a little bit better, all they heard was that little Machine Gun Kelly better and just attacked me and wished the worst on me. And those are stands that can't objectively look at something and be like, you know what, I can see where you're coming from this. They'll just attack you and just not listen to. They'll listen to that little negative thing you're saying, not the whole praising of 10 minutes where you're praising Eminem, and then you say one little bad thing, one little second, they'll just focus on that and attack you. Those are stands I'm talking about. I don't like any of those people when it comes to 50 Cent stands, Eminem. 50 Cent stands sometimes troll me, and their stands are like, oh, 50's not gonna like this. Oh, 50's this. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, you don't know 50 like that. You know, you're over here just talking out your ass. Oh, 50's you're working with Shot. 50's not gonna like this shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, shut up, man. You're not gonna. Oh, 50's gonna take this shit down. Like, like those type of stands are corny, man. I can't rock with people like that. I'm objective, and yeah, my bias might be towards 50. I can acknowledge that when people say, oh, you're biased towards 50. I can see where they come up with that conclusion, but you know, in general, I'm pretty objective to things, even with 50. I can look back and say, yeah, 50 took this loss, 50 this, 50 that, and admit to it. I'm not going to be like, oh, no, 50's the best. Now, you know, especially with the Rick Ross, I'm gonna redo the 50 Cent versus Rick Ross documentary because when I first did it, was the format of Who Really Won was way different. It was just getting started. I didn't have it formulated like I do now. And when I do it, the first one, people were critiquing me, oh, you're riding 50's D, but a lot of it I was saying was true, man. But anyways, I can go into a whole rant on that. But regardless, shout out to Eminem. I'm going to check out the movie, and I'm going to give my review and critique on it. And really, I didn't plan on going for that type of commentary towards the end, but I just had to because I remember seeing this earlier today, so I was like, let me talk about it. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stream us, Spotify, Deezer, Pocket Cast, YouTube, all that. Of course, support YouTube memberships. Patreon, it means the world to me, whether it's $3 a month, $10, $7, whatever amount you got, please support. It helps out with everything that I'm doing. And yeah, have an amazing night, day, whenever you listen to this, and peace.